Hi guys, it's Jake here at Canadian Cutting Edge, and today is Wee Wednesday, and we've got a Spyderco. I have not done a Spyderco video for a very long. Have I ever done a Spyderco video? I do own a Tenacious and a Resilience, and I don't own any of the made in the United States or other places other than China Spydercos. That was terrible English, wasn't it? I only own Spydercos that have been made in China. The American and other Spyderco made knives I do not own, simply because budgetary reasons. And they don't give knives out to reviewers because they are stinking popular. They're all on their own. Today, we've got this little guy. This is the C176P&S for plain and serrated. It's a two-finger grip, because another finger right on there isn't that great of a grip right there. Two finger, one thumb, really kind of grip. Feels really good in hand for doing, small Wee Wednesday kind of tasks, right? Full flat grind and a full serrated blade. I hate knives that are partially serrated. That's not an absolute statement, it's a general statement. And this guy did the best thing that you can do if you want to have serrations, and that is make one of each, and then you choose which one you need for that particular task. So if you're interested in a Wee Wednesday knife from Spyderco, then stick around for the full review. So guys, today we're taking a look at one of the CLIPITools. CLIPITOOL. That's one long word, CLIPITOOL. I bought this at a Walmart this summer as I was driving through the U.S. when I was going to go visit my mother. It came in this nice little box. And it's in the box like this, and when you go to take it out, you just grab in here, pull it loose, and then you've got your knife handy. There you go, the C176P&S plain edge blade / serrated blade, printed in China, made in China. In fact, it's made at the Sanrenmu factory. That shouldn't surprise you at all, because it's got the very good fit and finish, very much like a Sanrenmu knife. And we've had the owner of Spyderco, Sal Glesser, admit in even a knife forum that his made in China knives are actually made by Sanrenmu. And that makes complete sense, because Sanrenmu is the best knife company in China for budget knives. I had to qualify the for budget knives. They're doing some really good stuff with, larger knives now too. Oh yes, they're doing some really good stuff. They make the knives for Rake, R-U-I-K-E. They make the knives for Real Steel. Sanrenmu is a very, very good company. I'm sure they make the knives for some of the other companies as well. They just don't want to admit it openly. I would not be surprised if they made Wee knives. I would not be surprised even, other brands as well. I'm going to shut up now about that. Let's talk about this knife that we have in front of us today. We've got a knife that fits in the hand very well, very comfortable. 8CR13 MOV steel. I've already said made in China. This is an authentic Spyderco. You've got your little spider logo right there on the pocket clip. 3 screws holding the pocket clip on. I really like that. That's a lot of extra strength. You've got a lanyard hole in a silly spot. I say, if that's where you're going to put the lanyard hole, just don't even put in a lanyard hole. It doesn't make sense right there, at least not to me. I don't use lanyards on my knives to start with. That's a general statement, not an absolute. But I like to have my little knives on keychains, and so this knife will not fit very well on a key ring. You'll have to use a fairly large key ring, because it's off the edge too far to get a small key ring in, and it's too thick to get a small key ring in as well. All steel, looks nice, same color all over the place. That nice mono kind of coloring is very nice. And then you've got your laser etched Spidey in there. It's a nice little knife, a round hole over there, typical for Spyderco. And yes, it's a slip joint knife. It does not have any locking blades. So this is finally a knife that is functional for the UK and for a number of other countries where you can only carry knives that are slip joints. Generally speaking, of course. This is, I'm going to call this a clip point blade. It's not quite a straight back because it'd have to be in line with the spine of the handle, and it's not. It's got washers in there, which it has to have, and I'm not going to take it apart. It just isn't going to be done. You've got two blades, and I'll mention the sizes for both of those. And of course, since it's a slip joint, it's a solid back, not an open pillar construction, but it's easy to get in there and clean that guy out if you need to. So we've got a sort of forward choil right here that helps you get a really good 2-finger grip and a fairly good 3-finger grip on this knife. And with this thumb riser up here, even though there's no jimping, your thumb gets in there very well. Good grip. And, it's classic Spyderco kind of shaped blade, this leaf shape. And straight back here, full flat grind, really nice little knife. The spring for the slip joint is really good. It takes a fair bit of power to start pushing it away, and it just wants to come back, until it reaches a certain point, and then it stays. But there's no detent at any spot. It's either just closed or open. It doesn't sit nicely at any other spot. I'm okay with that. And the serrated blade is the same way, and it's got the same strength of springiness to hold it open. I don't mind slip joint knives at all, especially on wee little knives, because if you're used to slip joints, you can be safe with a slip joint. You can cut yourself and hurt yourself with any knife. There's no safe knife out there. So respect your knife no matter what kind you have, and you can be very safe with a slip joint. Some people will disagree, and I'll let you disagree with me. We don't have to have the same opinions on everything, on even most things. Well, let's go through the dimensions. The cutting edge is 4.42 centimeters. That's 1.74 inches. The serrated blade has got a cutting edge of 4 centimeters, which is 1.58 inches. The blade length is 5.11 centimeters, 2.01 inches. So from the front of the handle to the tip. And the serrated blade, when it's open all the way, measured the same way, 5.07 centimeters, which is 1.997 inches. Very close to the same. This guy's just a tiny bit shorter. And when you deploy them, you can just see that tip of the blade sticking out just a tiny bit further. There you go on that. You can see it on that look right there. So the blade thickness with my equipment, I measured 1.999 millimeters. So yeah, it's 2 millimeters. 0.0775 inches. The thickness of the edge behind the grind, so the final grind where it meets the full flat grind, 0.51 millimeters, which is 0.0200 inches. So that's a very, very good thickness, very optimal. It's 0.5 millimeter, so it's thick enough to be strong, thin enough to slice well. The tip is not super strong, and that's because it gets quite thin at the tip there. But because of this leaf shape, it does help with some of the strength on there. It's a very stabby little blade. Not that I suggest you use it that way for too much, because it isn't all that strong. So great for opening packages and letters and all kinds of stuff like that. The handle length is 6.6 centimeters. That is 2.6 inches. And the grip area, measured from my thumbnail here to my fingernail there, is 6.6 centimeters, 2.6 inches. So it's the same measurement. I just don't think you get any grip behind the apex of that blade handle right there, or the blade end from this guy. So I measured right to there. The handle thickness, not counting the pocket clip, 8.3 millimeters, that's 0.3275, so right around 1/3 of an inch. The total length when the knife is open is 11.7 centimeters, 4.6 inches, and it weighs 50 grams, 1.8 ounces. So a really good keychain kind of knife. So here's a key sort of beside it that sort of shows the size. It's from a Toyota. That's sort of the spare key. The ones with the electronics in it are even bigger usually. When the knife is closed, there you go. A regular house key is, sort of that size. Not bad. It's a good size knife. Looks great, feels great, cuts well. Well, you're not going to believe me? Okay, let's demonstrate. I know, you believed me. You trust me. Cutting this kind of molly type banding, it just flies through that stuff. It doesn't want to stop for anything. And let's put some of this wood down here and show you that with the belly of the knife, cuts great. With the tip of the knife, cuts great. You can use this to get out of a vehicle in an emergency. You can cut a seatbelt with this, no problem. If you're going to use it for something like that, only keep it for emergencies. Your emergency knife should not be used for anything else. And if you need to, you've got that serrated blade. And I really like having a serrated blade handy. Let's demonstrate the serrated blade on this stuff here. And it zips through very easily with that as well. And I can't really cut through it this way because, the tip isn't very sharp right there. There you go. You can see the tip of that blade is not sharp. So this is a very safe knife to use, for getting somebody out of a car or something instead of using the other one with a sharp edge. So cutting a seatbelt or something with this works quite well. It's ground on this side and then down on the serrations this way. Let's cut some paper with your main blade. So we've got just regular copy paper. It just cuts very, very well. You got very good control. Push cut, cutting at the same spot all the way along. No problem at all. I really, really like Spyderco. I just can't afford most of their knives. So let's take a look at what it looks like in a pocket. Close that up. And Spyderco's pocket clips. Nobody does pocket clips on budget knives or lower cost knives. Well, actually, they're not really budget knives, but they're budget lines still, and their other knives are even better. The pocket clips on Spyderco are just, great pocket clips. We've got just under 1/2 of an inch sticking out there, a little over 1 centimeter. You can even put this little guy in your coin pocket, no problem. It'll sit there out of your way. Looks good, feels good, works great. I love that spoon pocket clip. So what do you think of this video? What do you think of this knife? What do you think of Canadian Cutting Edge? Are you inviting your friends over? We want to get to 2,500 subscribers soon so we can do a big giveaway. I want to do it soon because that way I can do another giveaway at Christmas time, right? I don't want to have my 2,500 and Christmas time giveaways be right back to back. Let's spread the love around, guys. So let your friends and neighbors know about Canadian Cutting Edge. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for liking, commenting, subscribing, and sharing these videos with somebody. Remember to always cut towards your chum and not your wart removal. I didn't hurt myself. That's my wart removal. Cut towards your chum, not your thumb.